Good evening, everybody. Welcome. We are live to give you an update on the hurricane threat to hit Texas. Hurricane threat to Texas. The National Hurricane Center current forecast has a hurricane hitting Texas on Monday. Now, of course, there is still some uncertainty here, but we wanted to bring you an update. The latest National Hurricane Center update just came out within the last hour. So we want to give you an update, take some comments about this. Certainly something we're going to be following the next couple of days. Hey, thanks to Jenny Lassiter for the gift membership. That's nice of you. And I appreciate you all being here. You can write to me on X at Lookner. Thanks also to our moderators who are with us. Really appreciate all of our moderators who are there. Thank you. And we're going to get you the update right now. Hang on one moment here. Good Luck Duck and Papa Bear are moderating over there on Twitch, by the way, right now. Shout out to you. And thanks to Shadow Woman 7 for subscribing over there on Twitch. Oops. And Cynthia Moon is modding. Thanks, Cynthia. I appreciate that. All right. Christina Neal, Kay Lowry, Body, Margaret Riley over there, Ronald Egnor on Facebook. Thank you. All right, let's look at this forecast. Look at this. Here is your new National Hurricane Center forecast. Man, it's now Tropical Storm Beryl. The storm has been Hurricane Beryl for days and days, but it weakened when it went over the Yucatán Peninsula, Mexico. But now it's back over water, and it's supposed to strengthen now that it's not over land anymore. So it's Tropical Storm Beryl, formerly Hurricane Beryl, but supposed to again become Hurricane Beryl. And look at that track now. Yesterday, the last couple of days, the track was to hit southern Mexico, but it's now the forecast track is, look at that. It's not even supposed to hit Texas right north of the border. That's a significant jump from yesterday. Louise says, yikes, it's bending more. Russell Adams says, going more northwest. Look at that. Wow. And it's supposed to be, I believe, a 90-mile-an-hour hurricane. 90-mile-an-hour max sustained winds. I think 96 is a Cat 2. But it's not, 75 is a Cat 1. And who knows, it could strengthen even more. So we're gonna tell you what they had to say about this at the National Hurricane Center. Yes, it feeds off of warm water. Conditions are supposed to be favorable, low wind shear, low enough wind shear and warm enough water to strengthen. It's kind of a bit of a mess right now, though. I mean, if you're looking here, that's the current satellite shot on Tropical Tidbits, and I don't know what to make of that, but it's a tropical storm, but it's not looking very organized. Doesn't look like a hurricane. It doesn't look, you're not seeing the eye and the round thing. I'm not a weather expert, but it's looking a bit messy now. But it is supposed to strengthen. Now that it was over land before, now it's over water. You can get that at Tropical Tidbits. Somebody said, what caused it to change? So it just, look, it's. I know the wind steers storms, but also the track is, the track it actually took, I think, is a bit more north than what it was forecast to take. So we'll look at the National Hurricane Center discussion of why it's going where it's going. But, the winds do steer these hurricanes. But when they make a forecast, they say it's going to start here and it's going to take this track. Well, this storm actually went further north than they thought it was going to, over to the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. So that'll affect the remainder of the track, the projected track. USA Extreme Weather says it might be stronger than expected. There are models suggesting Cat 2 or higher. We're going to look into this. All right, let's see. But right now it's a tropical storm. let's look at a couple other things from the National Hurricane Center. I want to show you the interactive forecast track here. Here we go. Interactive track. By the way, there are hurricane watches in Texas right now. It's hurricane watches, not hurricane warnings. For hurricane watches and warnings, is it that is it a specific amount of time in advance, or is it the certainty? I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to tell you. A hurricane warning, yes, is issued when hurricane force winds are associated with associated with a tropical cyclone are expected in 36 hours or less. So it's not 36 hours or less yet. A hurricane watch, and that's from National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. A hurricane watch is hurricane conditions are possible, whereas a warning means that hurricane conditions are expected. A hurricane watch means hurricane conditions are possible within the specified coastal area. A hurricane warning means hurricane conditions are expected within the specified coastal area within 36 hours. Okay, so let's look at this. So you can see the storm right now. It's a tropical storm. It passed over the northern part of the Yucatán Peninsula here, and it weekend over land, and it's now a tropical storm. And the max sustained winds are what right now? What are the max sustained winds? I got to check. And what's the pressure? Pressure is all the way up to 996. Max sustained winds are 60. But if you look here, guys, look at this. There you go. We're going to check out some new forecasts too. But there it is. There is that forecast track. And you can see it becomes a hurricane by, that is Sunday night. By Sunday night, maybe sooner, but by Sunday night, 8 Eastern time, it's supposed to be a hurricane. And that is Monday morning. That's Monday at 7 a.m. And you can see it says 90 mile an hour max sustained wind, which is a healthy category 1. And that is Monday night. So look, if it goes a little bit more north, if the track goes a little bit, if it turns earlier, then it could stay over water longer and have a later landfall time. Where is my? Hang on here. Hang on a moment. Sometimes I get my pen out here. So my point is, if it were to go turn sooner and go this way, oops, you can't see that. Oh, I know why you can't see it. I'll fix that for you. If it were to go say it turned sooner and it went like this way, well, then it could stay over water for longer. Maybe strengthen some more. I don't know. Definitely affects where it hits. So who knows? It could turn earlier. I don't know. I'll have to show you the spaghetti diagrams too and see what the different models are saying. But so we'll have to see. Kevin Howard says on track to hit Corpus Christi. Now, something to keep in mind also is don't get wedded to this track, because this track certainly could change. Corpus Christi is there. Houston's up here, not right on the coast, but there's Houston. But don't get too wedded to it, because we saw how much it changed in the last day. Actually, it looks like part of Louisiana is actually in the cone of uncertainty right now. But this is the same storm that hit and devastated a couple islands in Grenada. It's the same storm that, when it was a hurricane, passed right near Jamaica and caused significant damage there. Passed over the Yucatán Peninsula of Mexico last night, I think it was, and this morning. And now it's here. Where Boca Chica, where Tesla is where SpaceX is, I'm sorry, is down here. It's near the border with Mexico. That's where the SpaceX launch facility is. It's down here. Do they plan on doing any evacuations? I mean, that would just depend on how strong a storm it is and where it is. You know, at this point, there's significant uncertainty, so we'll have to see how it develops. The Lucky Minute says, I don't remember them evacuating us for a Cat 1, so we'll have to see how much it strengthens. I'm going to show you what the National Hurricane Center said in their discussion. But we've been talking about this as we've been covering the storm. We've been talking about it, and I've been showing you some weather experts saying that it's possible that you could have a hurricane in Texas. Well, now that's the forecast. That's the official forecast. William Hagthorpe says, I live northeast of Houston. E says, keeping an eye on this, my in-laws live in Wharton, Texas, a little inland but prone to serious flooding. Andrew Broadwater, good to see you, Andrew. Andrew says, just a day ago, the cone was in Mexico. Yeah, this has been a significant shift from the last day. A track shift east. Gringo says, 100% will change. Change drastically in 12 hours. That Mexican show says, now it's reloading. Do I think it continues to shift east? I'm going to read you what the National Hurricane Center says. Let's do a quick look on tropical tidbits. By the way, when does, I don't know that it's running right now. Is the GFS runs around this time of night? Hold on. Here is tropicaltidbits.com. Oh, the GFS is running right now. This is very convenient. The GFS is one of the most well-known and looked at weather models. You can think of it like a computer program that predicts the weather. And this is one of the models that the National Hurricane Center looks at when they do their forecasts. And it runs 4 times a day. So right now, this forecast program is spitting out its forecast. So let's look at the forecast. And what I want to do is fix the region thing. We want to see Texas, so maybe I'll go to South Central U.S. for right now. Okay, so we're on Tropical Tidbits. See, tropicaltidbits.com. That is where we are. So if you want to do this yourself, you can go to tropicaltidbits.com and do it. It's a really good site. All right, so what we'll do is we'll do this. So let's look down here. I'm trying to fit this all on the screen. I'm going to get rid of the headline for a second. Okay, and we're going to play this forward a little bit. Okay, so what you see now is at the bottom there, see that? You can see the storm coming into view. Let me click ahead here. So that right there would be 8 p.m. Saturday night. No, 8 a.m. Sunday morning. It says 999. Pressure 998. That wouldn't be a very strong hurricane if it's a hurricane at all. But I'm also looking at it, says where it's going to go. Let's see. Ooh. All right. Does it have it like breaking up? Oh, there we go. 997. Hurricane strength is determined by wind speed, not pressure, but there's a rough correlation between pressure and hurricane strength. So, let's see here. I want to get that rough estimate out. That rough correlation estimate. between pressure and hurricane strength. Yeah, roughly speaking, you need, roughly speaking, I have a Weather Channel article here, but it says, like, roughly speaking, you usually have below 980 pressure with a hurricane. That says 997. But that aside, let's, the issue of weather, of the strengthening aside, keep an eye on where this latest forecast puts the storm. But this latest GFS model doesn't have it strengthening that much, it looks like. So if we go here, see, that says pressure of 993. Which I don't even know that would be a hurricane. And so, but look at that would be 8 a.m. Monday, 8 a.m. Monday. That seems like a pretty, and this is the new GFS forecast run on Tropical Tidbits here. But that looks kind of like where they currently have it, right? Right around that bend in Texas. Let's see. I mean, this new GFS run might be a little to the west of this one, because here's that bend here. Let's go back and look. I don't know, actually. It's kind of hard to tell. Yeah, maybe a tad to the west of this line here. So, I mean, the good news, there's different predictions about how much it'll ramp up. I mean, the good news for this GFS model run is that it's not predicting I mean, that pressure, I don't even know that would be a hurricane. But you can see where it's putting it location-wise. So, and if I go 6 hours ahead, I bet it'll just go inland, right? Yeah, that's 6 hours ahead. So this is one of the models that the National Hurricane Center looks at when they try to figure out where this thing is going. Ileana Holm thinks that GFS is underplaying the storm. We're going to look at what National Hurricane Center has to say about this in a second. But again, I do want to let you know that this is the newest run. It's coming out right now, this model run of the GFS on tropicaltidbits.com. So it's good to look at the new model runs and see if they're different from the current forecast. Oh, Melissa Luder says all of the water is sold out here in Dallas-Fort Worth. All right, so you have the updated GFS latest model run. Wheezy's Girl says prep begins tomorrow. 77 Pool Bob says, I live in College Station, Texas, and 24 hours ago, I never thought we would get any effects from the storm. What a change. Hey, thanks so much to BB for the gift memberships and Bob B, our new member. Margaret Riley said there was a voluntary evacuation issued for Matagorda County. I'll have to look that up. Oops, sorry, hold on. Hang on. So again, you're looking at I'll put play here. You are looking at this is the current GFS, new GFS model run on Tropical Tidbits. Click to Houston said voluntary evacuations have been issued for the coastal areas of Matagorda County ahead of Hurricane Beryl's landfall in Texas. Those who live along the county's coastal area should consider leaving to a safer location. That's what it says. Just to show you where that is, I'll show you where that is. Right. Sorry, I'm doing a bad job of pulling it up on the screen. As soon as I pull it on the screen, I will show it to you. Matagorda County. Its county seat is Bay City. So they have a voluntary evacuation. Hold on, let me pull this up here. Oops, that's too big. There we go. There it is. Oops. There's Matagorda County, south of Houston. All right, let's look at what the National Hurricane Center is saying about this overall. Okay, once again, the current forecast has it making landfall on Monday morning in Texas as a Category 1 hurricane. It's got to strengthen because it's currently a tropical storm. By the way, thanks to our viewer, Doc number 27, who says Lake Livingston Dam, northeast of Houston, is under threat of collapse from spillway damage. This likely won't help. Thank you, Doc number 27. I appreciate that. Still a bunch of uncertainty here. But let's go to the forecast discussion and see what the National Hurricane Center has to say. All right, forecast discussion. The center of Beryl has emerged over the southern Gulf of Mexico, just northwest of Progreso in the Yucatán Peninsula. Surface observations of NOAA aircraft tail Doppler radar indicate the storm has become significantly tilted, with the low-level center located to the southwest of the mid-level vortex, with most of the showers and thunderstorms located closer to the mid-level center. The latest flight level wind data from the Air Force Hurricane Hunter aircraft support lowering the initial intensity to 50 knots, 60 miles an hour. The minimum pressure has now risen to 996. Beryl has been moving west-northwestward at about 11 knots as the system remains steered by a mid-level ridge located over the southeastern U.S. This motion should continue through early Saturday. After that time, a gradual turn to the northwest with a decrease in forward speed is predicted as Beryl moves toward a weakness in the ridge caused by a trough over the south-central U.S. The models show a shortwave trough reinforcing the weakness late in the weekend, which could cause a turn more toward the north just before Beryl makes landfall. The latest guidance has again shifted to the right and is a little faster than the previous cycle, and the current track forecast has been adjusted in these directions. The new track forecast is very close to the latest GFS model prediction, which has been the best performer on Beryl up to this point. That is important. They say the GFS model, that's the American, it's called the American model, it's a particular weather model, has been the best performer on predicting, I guess, where Beryl will go. And we were just looking at the GFS model on Tropical Tidbits. And this is the newest GFS model run. And in terms of where it puts the storm, it has it going maybe just a tad to the west of the current forecast track, but pretty similar. Right there. Intensity-wise, I don't know if the National Hurricane Center is saying it's just been good for direct. It sounds to me like they're just saying it's been good. The GFS has been good for figuring out where it's going to go, not necessarily for intensity. As I said before, this is not currently predicting, maybe not even it's strengthening to a hurricane. But in terms of where the latest new model run, which came out after that. This is the new model run. It's coming out now. It's after the latest National Hurricane Center update. It's putting it at a similar place, pretty similar place to the forecast track. So that'll carry some weight with them, I assume, in terms of whether to adjust the track or not. All right. So they say since Beryl's structure has degraded significantly from its passage over the Yucatán, its passage over land, it likely will take a little time for the storm to recover. However, the overall environmental conditions are good for strengthening, with increasing water temperatures and decreasing vertical wind shear along the expected track. What's going to make this hurricane strengthen is warm water and low wind shear. Wind shear is where you have different winds blowing at different directions at different altitudes. And low wind shear and warm water is coming up, and that is going to help this hurricane strengthen. In addition, the global models are suggesting that the upper level wind pattern might become more diffluent before the system reaches the coast, which could aid in the intensification process. I don't even know what diffluent means. A pattern of wind flow in which air moves outward away from a central axis that is oriented parallel to the general direction of the flow. Well, I'm not going to worry about that right now, but they're saying there's another factor that could help it intensify even more. Although the global models are not particularly skillful in predicting the maximum winds of a tropical cyclone, they do assess the environmental factors well, and the Euro and GFS models show significant decreases in the system's minimum pressure over the next couple of days. So that's interesting. They're saying you shouldn't really rely on like the global models for predicting the maximum winds of a tropical cyclone. Hang on one second here. The GFS and Euro models are both global models, by the way. Okay, so hold on. They say the Euro and GFS models show significant decreases in the system's minimum pressure, which means it's strengthening over the next couple of days. Based on these environmental factors, the National Hurricane Center intensity forecast calls for slow strengthening during the next day or so, followed by more steady strengthening until Beryl makes landfall. This forecast is similar to the previous one. Based on the latest forecast, that hurricane watch has been extended eastward along the Texas coast. Now, this is really important. It is important to note that the average NHC track error at 60 to 72 hours out is 80 to 100 miles, and that the average intensity error is close to 1 category. Users are reminded to consider these uncertainties when using the forecast information. So what they're saying is this many days out, 2.5, 3 days out, usually what happens is when it actually makes landfall, it's 80 to 100 miles away from where the track is right now. And the intensity is normally, on average, a category more or less than is currently forecast. So you should not become wedded to this forecast of a Cat 1 making landfall at that location. You should be thinking, okay, well, somewhere in that general area, and maybe something stronger or weaker than a Cat 1. And as we mentioned, if it takes a little bit of a different path, it could stay longer or shorter time in the water, have less or more time to strengthen. Ruth says a lot will depend on the wind shear. And for 100 miles, actually, if you can see I can show you here what 100 miles is on this map. I'll show you the map key. There you go. 100 miles is from here to here. That white and that dark bar there, that's 100 miles. So the average error this far out is 100 miles. Chris thinks this won't be an issue for Dallas. I don't know. It depends on, what exact track does it take? How much moisture does it bring? How fast is it moving? How big the storm is, obviously, where the rain is. Relila says it's going to hit me. Let me go back to that discussion. Key messages. There is an increasing risk of damaging hurricane-force winds and life-threatening storm surge in portions of northeastern Mexico and the lower and middle Texas coast late Sunday and Monday, where hurricane and storm surge watches are in effect. Additional watches and warnings may be required on Saturday. Interest in these areas should follow any advice given by local officials. Flash and urban flooding are possible across portions of the Texas Gulf Coast and eastern Texas from Sunday through the middle of next week. Rip currents will cause life-threatening beach conditions. Through the weekend and across much of the Gulf Coast, beachgoers should heed warning flags and the advice of lifeguards and local officials before venturing into the water. And what you can see is it's currently at 60-mile-an-hour max sustained winds. It is supposed to get up to 90 before making landfall. But there is some uncertainty here. So don't get wedded to this exact track, an exact forecast. I do also want to mention the spaghetti diagram and the intensity guidance. So if we go to tropical tidbits and we go to storms and we go to Beryl, if you go to the bottom right, it says intensity guidance, and we click on intensity guidance. Now what this is this is a chart. Let me try to show. I want to show this to you in a little cleaner way here. Sorry. This shows various weather models, how strong they think the storm is going to get. And for right now, there's a decent amount of agreement among the different models. Let me show you that. Where am I looking here? Is it this thing? Here. Oh, that's better. That's what I wanted to show you. That works. This is from tropicaltidbits.com. And that is a bunch of weather models. Each line is like a forecast from a different weather model. And what it's showing you is over time what the prediction is for how strong the storm will get. Now, this is interesting because you can see most of these models don't even having it strengthening to a hurricane. Most of them having it strengthening but staying a tropical storm. And we're talking about landfall roughly 72, it's Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night, 60 hours from now or so, maybe roughly in here. So at least looking at that, now this could change. I mean, that's not a perfect predictor, but right now you're not seeing a lot. I think there's only 2 or 3 models here even calling it for it to get to a Cat 1 and nothing calling for it to get to a Cat 2. So maybe that'll change. But for right now, you're not seeing a lot of huge disagreement among how strong it'll get. So let's hope it stays like. Let's hope the intensity guidance stays like this, and you don't start seeing these weather models predicting it to strengthen more. Oh, thanks to Joe. Joe says, I live in Houston and hurricanes constantly change trajectory. It'll pick up intensity as it goes through the Gulf. Harvey stalled out on the coast and kept picking up moisture that flooded Houston. Yet no signs right now of this stalling out, fortunately. Let's hope that continues. Thank you so much, Joe. That's really nice of you. Thanks, Turned Off, who says, I live in Austin and saw tons of people buying water. Lewis says majority of the models have it as tropical storm, yet the Hurricane Center is advising people to prepare for a possible Cat 2. So the Hurricane Center believes, National Hurricane Center believes that it's going to strengthen. So what the Hurricane Center did say that like models, they actually said that global models, I don't know what these are here, but they did say like some of the better known models sometimes don't do the best with intensity of hurricanes. And they said, so based on everything they know, the National Hurricane Center is calling on it to be a Category 1. But they said it could strengthen even more. So we'll just have to see. But their best guess right now is Category 1 by the time it reaches Texas. This storm has also been defying expectations. I mean, this storm was supposed to get weaker faster than it did. All right, so that's the intensity guidance. I'm going to show you the spaghetti diagram too. What causes it to move faster? I believe it's just the surrounding winds steer the hurricane. Look at this. How do hurricanes move? This is from NOAA. Steering flow creates rivers in the atmosphere that guide hurricanes to their destinations, Dr. Gus Alaska. Large, high, and low pressure weather systems push hurricanes around like corks in a river. So there's different pressures, different pressure weather systems. And I don't understand all of this stuff. But I'll actually post a link to this. But the surrounding weather pushes and pulls, you can see it says, push hurricanes around like corks in a river. I'm posting a link to that right now. You can see it says in the North Atlantic Ocean, air circulates clockwise around the Bermuda High. It circulates this way, so it pushes the storms this way. Okay, hold on a second here. Also, you can see here, this is from University of Illinois. Movement of hurricanes steered by the global winds. The path of a hurricane greatly depends on upon the wind belt in which it is located. But the weather around it can change, and it can move to a new area and get picked up by different winds. Anyways, the engine says, and winds are generated by pressure systems. I am not a weather expert, but I'm trying to just give you a basic answer to the question. Let's look at the spaghetti model on tropical tidbits for this storm. So there's Tropical Tidbits, great site for hurricanes, tropicaltidbits.com. We go to current storms, and we go to Tropical Storm Beryl, and we go to global and hurricane models. So here's a spaghetti diagram for you. I know people like seeing this. Model track guidance. There we go. So what you can see is, this is interesting too. There's not, in this latest spaghetti diagram, these get updated during the day, I think maybe 4 times a day over there on Tropical Tidbits. The weather models update 4 times a day, so this is just giving you the latest grouping. There's not that huge of a spread. So sometimes you look at these things and you see like a bunch of different possibilities. Like there'll be one where it's like that, and there'll be one like it's like that, and there'll be a couple down here, and one over here. We're not seeing that right now here. So of course this could change, but there's, it's pretty consistent, the general area where they think it's going to go, these different models. Russell says Mexico is out for now. I mean, some of these are pretty close to Mexico, but it's not sometimes when there's what'll happen is if it's like this, they'll actually say in their discussion like there's a lot of spread in the guidance, so there's a lot of uncertainty. They're not saying that right now. I mean, of course things could change, but it's not like the models for now are suggesting the same general area. Hey, thanks, Marty Hagwood. That's really kind of you. Hey, thanks for your generous support, Marty Hagwood. I really appreciate that. Marty Hagwood, thank you. So, not a lot of spread in the intensity or model track guidance at the moment. What did the HWRF model say? That's a hurricane model, I believe. Forecast models, tropical tidbits, hurricane, HWRF. Now this is Beryl. Now this is, it's kind of another one of these will come out pretty shortly. This is from hours ago, but the hours ago HWRF model run. Gonna click it forward, click it forward, click it forward. There's Texas right there. See, now look at the pressure. It has the pressure getting down to 969, 971, which, hang on a second, I believe, roughly speaking, would be expected to be around a Cat 1. Hold on, you can't even see what I'm looking at now. This was the previous run of the there's going to be another HWRF, I think, in the next couple hours, I think. I'm not sure exactly when the new HWRF comes out. It comes out 4 times a day. I have to look up model run times. Forecast model run times. Some of you probably know this. I don't even know. I don't have an answer. Oh, Marty, that's really generous of you. Wow. How generous is that of Marty Hagwood? Thank you, Marty. That's really kind of you. That is really, really nice of you. Thank you, Marty. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Marty Hagwood, special shout out. So, you know, the best I can tell you right now is a lot of the models are putting it in roughly the same place. That bend in Texas, somewhere in there. But we still got, I mean, they're talking about it, you know, this is right there. That is 7 a.m. Monday morning. Let me take some comments here from you guys. Not much to look at really on the satellite from Tropical Tidbits right now. Current storms, you know, that's it. Just went over this part of Mexico here, and I don't even know where I'm looking. Where am I looking? Is that where I'm looking? I don't even know. Where am I supposed to be looking? Here on the right, or there on the left? Here on the right? I don't know where the center is. It's a system. It's definitely a tropical storm. Left? Night Carry says left. I don't even know. Oh, the drop down. Does the drop down box tell you the run times, like when it comes out? I'm talking about my Florida, figuring out when it actually, like when will the HWRF actually start posting? Yeah, it has runtime up here, but I'm not sure when it actually. Oh, forecast time local. Oh, is this it? Maybe this is it. Is this it? No. Forecast time local. Is that it? That doesn't make any sense, because this is the GFS. It started running like 4 hours ago. Oh, maybe this is maybe what it means is that's when it's done. I don't know. Anyways, I gotta look this up. HWRF. I don't know. I don't know when the next one will be out. Let's see here. Down arrow on the right. Where? That's the history of the run times, but that's not telling me when they come when I'm actually going to see the results. World Peace says Louisiana here. I hope we will be okay. Relax Mellow believes that it's the left. The right storms are building off Beryl. You know what I probably could do is, if I went back far, if you could go back far enough, you could, well, let's look at the current track. I'm sorry. Let's do this. Currently, it's right here. That's the location of it right there. So if we go over to the satellite, yeah, it looks like it's the left. If you look at the location here, that's the center of the storm right there. That looks like it correlates to the left thing over here. Senga Girl says it's disorganized now. Look for the rotation. It is on the left. Top right is building thunderstorms. Is the rotation right in there, maybe? I don't even know. Teresa Parker says we are just outside of San Antonio. We sure need rain, just not a big dump all at once. Let me see if any of the meteorologists I follow are talking about this. They might have some insight on this. Big thanks to our moderators, by the way. We have Ruth Krafasi. By the way, thanks, Joe, by the way. Joe recommends windy.com. I use Windy sometimes too, Joe. Thank you, Joe. Cynthia Moon moderating. Thank you, Cynthia. Linda Belk and Larry moderate for us on X. Also over there on Twitch, we have Good Luck Duck, Idaho Star, I Got That Fire, Papa Bear, Sarah. And on Facebook, Kay Lowry Body, Paul Anderson, Margaret Riley, Christina Neal. Thank you. So what I was going to do is check while I give you the track again. The next big update from the National Hurricane Center will be at 5 a.m. The big updates are every 6 hours. Let's look at... Oh, I know what I was going to do. The fire chief of Houston posted. Let me show you what he posted. Chief Samuel Pena said, still uncertainty in Hurricane Beryl's track, but message is clear. Don't panic, but prepare should the track zero in on Houston area. Let's see here. One moment. One moment. Checking one other thing here. And, you know, look, it bears repeating what the National Hurricane Center said. They said that the average forecast error on the track this far out, 60 to 72 hours, is 80 to 100 miles. So on average, the forecast track at this point will be 80 to 100 miles off what it actually ends up being. So keep that in mind. And they say on average, the forecast intensity is a category off. Currently, it's category 1 intensity forecasted. What is the amount of rain they're currently predicting? They even predicted yet? Let's see. Public advisory. Storm surge. Okay, so this is early, guys. This is gonna. This can change with the track. If the track changes or the intensity changes, this is going to change. Storm surge, though. The combination of storm surge and tide will cause normally dry areas near the coast to be flooded by rising waters moving inland from the shoreline. The water could reach the following heights above ground somewhere in the indicated areas if the peak surge occurs at the time of high tide. Baffin Bay, Texas to San Luis Pass, Texas, 3 to 5 feet. Corpus Christi Bay, 3 to 5 feet. Matagorda Bay, 3 to 5 feet. Mouth of the Rio Grande, Texas to Baffin Bay, Texas, 2 to 4 feet. San Luis Pass, Texas to High Island, Texas, 2 to 4 feet. Galveston Bay, 2 to 4 feet. Do they have a storm surge map yet? They probably will have it closer if they don't have one posted now. Oh, no, they do. Peak surge. They posted a peak surge map. There we go. Now, of course, this could change in terms of location and amount, but there you go. There's peak surge. Yellow is up to 5 feet. And that's the Mexico border right here. You know, if it's a stronger storm, it'll be more surge. Wayne Mertz says this will change. They don't know much yet. All of these maps will change a lot. I mean, they could stay similar. We'll just have to see, but they definitely could change. All right, and then there's also rainfall potential. What do they say for rainfall? We got a rainfall map. Look at this. Look at this. There you go. There you go. So that's a rainfall map. That's the current one. This came out. Now, this is a bit of an old map. This is a bit of an old map because it's based on, it was created at 4:20 p.m. I almost don't want to show this because I think it might be a little different now because the track, maybe everything is shifting a bit to the east because the track shifts to the east. Again, this map has not been updated since the afternoon. So I'm a little wary of showing it. There'll be a new one. Let me show you what the amounts are though in the discussion. In the public advisory. Rainfall. Heavy rainfall. Now look at this. Heavy rainfall of 5 to 10 inches with localized amounts of 15 inches is expected across portions of the Texas Gulf Coast and eastern Texas beginning late Sunday through midweek. This rainfall is likely to produce areas of flash and urban flooding. One second here. Give me just 1 second. Yeah, as Jim Lill says, that's a lot of rain. Let's see. I was looking for the looking at a couple of the local National Weather Service offices, what they've been posting on this. Here is something from National Weather Service Corpus Christi that I found. They said, here is the latest satellite loop of Tropical Storm Beryl in the southern Gulf of Mexico, with lightning being depicted by colored flashes right here. Right in, or where is it? Right in here? Here? Now I'm confused. Oh, it's like, I think that's it right in here. There's the circular, right in here? It's a bit of a mess. Thanks to Jesse F. for your support. I appreciate that, Jesse F. I was also trying to figure out what are the National Weather Service's offices on the Gulf Coast. There is Brownsville, there's Corpus Christi. Which one am I missing north of Corpus Christi? I'm trying to find this map here. Oh, I found it. Houston. Oh, NWS Houston. I should open up that one too and see what they're posting about. What is this update here?
Getting ready to...
Sorry. There's an old update. I don't even want to play it. National Weather Service Houston did an update about the hurricane, but that was like 6-7 hours ago. So I don't want to play old information. But I'll be looking, maybe in one of our future streams, we'll play something from the National Weather Service. All right. So we're going to have to keep an eye on this one, guys. Again, the current forecast has it strengthening to a 90-mile-an-hour max sustained wind Cat 1 hurricane and making landfall on Monday morning there. We'll see if that actually happens. Oh, what are the water temperatures, people said? A couple people asked about that. I can show you that. NOAA has a map. There you go. There are water temperatures right there. I mean, it's not that comprehensive, but it's 80, in the mid 80s in a bunch of places. Can you guys see that? For hurricanes need water above 79 degrees Fahrenheit. Below that, hurricanes will not form or will weaken rapidly. That's according to National Weather Service. The warmer, the stronger, the more it contributes to stronger hurricanes. Ingrid thinks it will be a Category 3 or more. Linda Bell says Harvey wasn't that strong wind-wise, but it practically destroyed Houston with rainfall and storm surge. This thing is not supposed to hold up at this point. At this point, it's not forecast to, linger. Yeah, one of our viewers said 84.6 is closest to the system. I mean, that says 84.6 right there, and the tropical storm is like somewhere around here. Yeah, I mean, there's just they have certain temperature detectors here or whatever. Now, it can get closer when it gets to the coast. See, this says 87, 90, 87, 87, 88. EC says it's back over open water. I think it blows up. Doom Chaser says tomorrow will be predicted to be Cat 2. It's usually the pattern we see. Rebecca Day says, I'm guessing it'll squeak into Cat 2 before landfall, 96 miles an hour. All right, so this certainly bears watching. All right, so I don't have much more to tell you on this right now, but obviously, as we have the weekend to keep an eye on this, but the closer we get, they'll start, I would assume, narrowing down that forecast. I mean, the closer you get, the less likely it is that you're going to have a big jump in the forecast. But you never know. And it certainly could intensify more than is forecasted. Anybody else? Let me just check a couple people. I follow some weather folks. See if anybody else posted about this I wanted to mention. Let's see here. A couple people I follow who post about this stuff a lot. Philip Klotzbach says in the 2000s, 3 hurricanes have made landfall in Texas in July. Little hurricane trivia here for you. Let me show you this. Philip Klotzbach says, 3 hurricanes have made landfall in Texas in July since 2000, Claudette, Dolly, and Hannah. So it's certainly not like a crazy rare event for a hurricane to hit Texas in July. And that's an interesting point that Michael Lowry makes, is talking about how big the hurricane gets and how far the wind reaches. And so Michael Lowry is a weather expert. He says, I believe he's a meteorologist, hurricane specialist and storm surge expert. He says something I'll be watching over the next few days is how Beryl evolves structurally, specifically how its wind field changes for the surge threat to Texas. The latest forecast keeps Beryl small. So he's pointing out that if it's a bigger hurricane, that could have greater storm surge effects, because the storm surge is caused by the wind blowing the water towards the shore. He also says size has all sorts of implications for a hurricane threat beyond storm surge. Size affects when the strongest winds arrive and where watches and warnings are issued. It can also affect resiliency and intensity fluctuations. Recon helps us verify size along the way. One other interesting post from Tomer Berg, who I follow for weather stuff. I think he's a good person to follow. Tomer, weather expert. He says, based on this evening's observations, this appears to be the biggest hindrance to Beryl's re-intensification prospects. While its forecast track has undoubtedly shifted eastward, the longer it battles dry air, the less likely significant re-intensification is. And he mentions Andy Hazelton, who's a weather scientist, and he says something to watch for tomorrow with Beryl. GFS and these other two HAFS models show a major dry slot eroding the system throughout the day tomorrow, which prevents any significant intensification. Earlier organization probably gets you a stronger storm, very tricky forecast. So I guess he's talking about maybe some dry air. Yeah, dry air. So if there's a certain amount, if there's dry air, that could affect the strengthening. That's interesting. Oh, Ruth Krafasi says that's what Reed Timmer was saying too. Was he doing a live maybe or something? So, I mean, but again, you know, right now the National Hurricane Center forecast is calling for 5 to 10 inches of rain with 15 heavy rainfall, 5 to 10 inches with localized amounts of 15 inches expected across portions of the Texas Gulf Coast and eastern Texas. You know, so, and then there'll be rain as that storm moves inland. There'll be a bunch of rain in different places. So we'll have to see. I don't want to show that old rain map from earlier today because it's probably different now. But Yo Pro John says read one live this morning about it. Anyways, thanks so much to PZ Papa Zulu for the gift memberships. That's really kind of you, PZ Papa Zulu. So Ruth says he will be chasing there. Are there going to be a bunch of chasers there? PZ Papa Zulu says that could definitely cause flooding. All right, anyways, let's see. Hold on. Yes, and Texit Raider likes Mike's weather page. Mike's weather page is also a very good resource for weather stuff. All right. Well, I think right now that kind of covers the big updates at the moment. But we'll have to keep an eye on this the next couple days. Chris says, I will be at work during the night on Monday a.m. I'll send you videos if it's bad. Sabin Nation likes Levi Cowan. He's great. Yeah, and he runs Tropical Tidbits, which is an awesome site. Really great for hurricane stuff. TropicalTidbits.com. Check it out. Appreciate them letting us show the site. TropicalTidbits.com. Yo-Yo says, I love Mike, been following him for something. Okay, so we are going to wrap up this live stream, but keep an eye out for National Hurricane Center updates. The next big one is at 5 a.m., and we'll see what happens here. But right now, the forecast is for a hurricane to hit Texas on Monday. Things could change, though. But right now, the models all are pretty close in terms of saying that they think it's going to go roughly in that part of Texas. Anyways, subscribe, follow Agenda Free TV. We cover all kinds of live breaking news without an agenda. So subscribe and follow Agenda Free TV. And if you're anywhere in this area, if you're in Mexico on the Gulf Coast there, near Texas, Louisiana, whatever, I assume Mississippi or Alabama or Panhandle, Florida even. I don't know. I feel like just pay attention if you're on the Gulf Coast because things can change. But, I mean, especially Louisiana and Mexico and northern Mexico, in addition to, obviously, Texas. So I will keep an eye out. If the news warrants it, we will do more live streams, and I will post updates on my X account, which is @Lookner. You can follow me there for breaking news updates, @Lookner on X. I really appreciate you guys tuning in for the stream. Oops, hang on. Thanks for joining tonight. And hey, let's shout out the moderators. You guys are awesome. They are the reason we can even have chat rooms. Our moderators are so great. They keep the chats civil, respectful. Thanks, mods. Ruth Krafasi over there on YouTube right now. Kinetic. Big thanks to our mods. All the mods who've been over there on YouTube. Thank you. Linda Belk and Larry moderate for us on X. Thank you for modding over there. Facebook, K. Lowry Body. Ronald Egnor. Margaret Riley. Christina Neal. Thanks for modding. On Twitch. Good luck, Duck. Idaho Star, I got that fire. Sarah and Papa Bear, thank you so much. Hey, thanks, Yappo the Clown, for the bits. who says, like Rita and Harvey all happened in the cycle change between El Nino and El Nina. Texas is going through the same cycle change this year, so be very cautious. That's what Yappo the Clown says. Thank you, Yappo, for your support. And hey, thanks to everybody who donated. I think I got everybody on the way through. I think I thanked everybody. Marty Hagwood, special shout out, Marty, and everybody else who donated. Really appreciate your support for the channel. That is how this channel exists. So thanks for your support in letting this channel exist. If you ever want to donate, you can go to agendafree.tv, agendafree.tv. But big thanks to you. Thank you to our mods. And thanks for letting me read your comments on the air and for writing in with your comments and questions. Oh, hold on a second. I hope I didn't miss a couple comments that I want to mention. Hold on. I know I can't get to all of them, but let me just make sure here. Yeah, I'll just show this real quick. Our viewer mentioned, Wheezy's girl mentioned Jeff Lindner, who is a meteorologist for Harris County, Texas, and he said Beryl continues to track east. Continues east track shifts. Hurricane and storm surge watches extended eastward. Actions and preparations for the landfall of a hurricane around Matagorda Bay Monday. Again, there could be some fluctuation in that track, but those plans should be underway. Persons in the Houston-Galveston area should be fully ready to enact plans this weekend. So thanks for writing in with your comments and letting me read your comments on the air. Turn on the notifications. I never know when we're going live. If you want to get notifications sent to you whenever we go live, sign up for our free notifications. We do it through Discord. The mods can post the link in the chat. You just got to sign up once, and then you get the notifications every time we go live. So that works really well. You can also find the notifications link in the description of this video on YouTube and Facebook. And at the same link, if you want, you can check out our Discord chat where you can chat with other viewers when we're not live. A lot of our viewers like doing the Discord chat. Check that out as well. It's also free. Big thanks to our Discord mods, by the way. And if anybody's interested in being a volunteer moderator, that would be awesome. You can ask our mods for more information about that. Sometimes there's a wait list for that, but you can ask our mods for more information. Quick reminder, I do have a personal channel where I sometimes do non-news live streaming. Haven't been there for a few days because it's been so busy with the news. But if you're interested in that, that is called Lookner on YouTube. And Look Nerd with a D on Twitch. Lookner, Look Nerd. Also, a quick reminder, if you do subscribe on YouTube and you want to turn the YouTube notifications on, you got to click this bell thing and choose all notifications. Okay. Hey, let's thank our Facebook subscribers. Thank you so much, like Robert Rial and Jane Summers and Eve Richards and Billy Joe Drage. Margaret Riley, Kay Lowry Body, all of our subscribers on Facebook. Big thanks to you guys. Also our Twitch subscribers. Thanks for subscribing over there. Like Shaggy and Wall Street. By the way, thanks to our viewer Recco for joining us over there on Twitch, who says, gonna keep eyes on it here in Houston. Seems like a familiar path. Ma Florida, thanks for subscribing. Flaps15, thanks for subscribing. Thanks Night Carries for watching. Thanks to our subscriber Relila, Integrity Farmer Bob too. And all of our other Twitch subscribers and our YouTube members. Big thanks to you like PZ Papa Zulu, You Rock, Lori Sunshine, Oilers Nation, Bobby D. Roberson, Paulie M, The Lucky Minute, UV Lightning, Marin Gobra, Gas on the Brain, Ingrid Perez. I realized too, I wouldn't just pay attention to this if you're on the coast, because if you're like more inland in Texas, for example, you could be somewhere where they get a ton of rain. So anywhere close to this area, keeping an eye on it. Thanks to our other members like Chris Vivid, Gretchen Hinkle, Lucky Minute, Polly M, Gordon Gott, Marty Hagwood, Strange Reverend, Jenny Lassiter, EC, Sabin Nation, Overfear, U-Rock, Oak, CAC 813. Did I say Lori Sunshine? Tie Sticks, Randy J. Paul Tissue. Thanks, Paul, for tuning in. Wickedest Witch, Alibaba, Annette Cervantes, and all of our other YouTube members. Texan says, I'm on a tiny island in Galveston Bay. Got to stock up on alcohol? Make sure you listen to your local authorities, what they tell you to do. Red Squirrel 82, thank you, Chris N, for being a member, and everybody else. Pistol Pete, thanks for being here. Current category is no category because it's not a hurricane. It is currently a tropical storm. A tropical storm is what it is right now, not a hurricane. But it's supposed to strengthen to a hurricane. All right, guys, we are wrapping this up. So thank you for joining us for this weather news update. Let's see how this forecast develops over the weekend. Rita's Real Estate says hurricane party, but you're not in Texas, though. So you can, at this point, have a little party there. But the people in Texas, I don't think will be having a party. So please follow your local authorities, and if you're in anywhere close to the area, and see what they tell you to do. Oh, thanks to our subscriber, Texas Snack Pack. Let's hope it doesn't strengthen that much. Let's hope it fizzles out. That's what I'm hoping for. Okay. Chess Match says, should we board up? That's the kind of thing you should ask the local authorities about. All right, guys, that is it for now. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon with more live breaking news coverage right here at Agenda Free TV.